Well, on Monday afternoon, Dr. Greg Murphy decided he was going to make it official and announce his intention for running for the congressional seat, Congressional District Number 3, the seat that Congressman Jones held for 20-some years, and went around the entire district, and we were going to have him on that afternoon. Unfortunately, he was caught in one of the pockets somewhere between Jacksonville and New Bern and Greenville that he lost his cell phone signal, and we didn't get a chance to talk to him. He's on the line with us right now. Greg, welcome back to News and Views.
Hey, thank you, Tom. I'm really sorry about our technological glitch, but it is what it is.
Not a problem. You are now, obviously you've announced you'll file next week, go up to Raleigh and put your name, officially do it. This is going to be an interesting race. Right now, it looks like there could be somewhere between 10 and 12 individuals running for this. I guess my first question is, do you plan on having 3 races over the next 6 months, the one that comes up in April, and then will there be a runoff in July, or will that be the general election? What are your thoughts?
Well, Tom, this is, anything can go. All I can say is, there are a lot of folks that are in the race. I am running for a position. I'm not running against anybody. I'm excited about our campaign. It's running at full steam. We announced Monday, and as you said, we were in a bunch of cities. Remember, I was approached this over a year ago about running for Congress when Walter Jones said he was not going to run again. So our time frame was in 2020. But with Walter's sudden passing, everything moved up. We had already formed some strong relationships that really actually came up great and big this week. We have coordinators in 17 counties in the district, and in just 3 days since launching, we have pledges of contributions from all 17 counties. We set a fundraising goal of $100,000 for the first 10 days of the campaign. I am blown away. I was just told by my committee that we've already topped that goal in the 3rd day. People are responding to our message about we the people, taking power away from Washington, returning it to the people, just like, when we talked the other day, our founders had intended. So I'm excited to go to Washington and support our president. They're energized, I think, to hear a conservative articulate the principles of lower taxes, less government, more individuals' liberty, just like we talked about the other day. And it's been a campaign based on we the people, and in the first 3 days, the people are responding, and I could not be more excited and pleased.
Let me ask you, what do you plan to do with your position in the North Carolina House, and how are you going to juggle that and your doctoring as well?
Well, Tom, you and I talked about that the other day. I don't sleep much. I work full steam, and I was working all day and all night last night on legislative things. I'm not going to let go of that by all. The people elected me in Pitt County, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just keep working.
Let me ask you a question. We had a caller yesterday, and I wasn't sure how to respond, and I actually said publicly, Greg, if you're out there listening and you would like to respond to this, but let me ask you a question. The comment was made that Greg Murphy was for the expansion of Medicaid in North Carolina. And basically, it sounded like you were in agreement with what Roy Cooper is proposing. How would you respond to that?
Well, Tom, unfortunately, there's one individual. We kind of know who he is. I'm familiar with him. He has supported somebody else in the race, and unfortunately spending a great deal of time repeating misinformation. So the misinformation about the bill that we submitted, Carolina Cares, a couple years ago, there's a lot of it out there, and it's puzzling. I'm not sure where it comes from, whether a reporter really wasn't doing his due diligence or what. The Carolina Cares bill was something that was made necessary because of what I believe was one of the worst pieces of legislation in history, and that's Obamacare. Mm-hmm. Our premiums skyrocketed after that, and there became a group of individuals who essentially got priced out of getting health insurance. They could no longer afford the premiums. They made too much to qualify for Medicaid. And these folks are our farmers, our commercial fishermen, members of the clergy. And I have been inundated with these individuals saying, hey, this is what's happened to us. You and I know, we talked about this the other day, I'm a limited government conservative. But when the overreaching arm of the federal government caused a problem, as it did with Obamacare, pricing a segment of our population out of access to health insurance, we have an obligation to do something. Carolina Cares does not add one single person to the Medicaid roll. Let me explain something, because, this is an entirely different insurance product. We're revising our bill from last session and going to resubmit it in about 2 weeks. The plan is administered by the state, just like the state health plan is administered by the state. But there's so many different things. People actually have to pay premiums, just like you do regular insurance. There is a work requirement to make sure that those premiums are paid, that people have personal responsibility. There are also requirements that you have healthy living. You do through screenings, so you save money in the long run. None of those things are in Medicaid. It's not part of that, so it's not the same thing by any means. The ultimate goal, actually, is to get people off Medicaid onto this plan and just to ensure that there's personal responsibility. It's important, I think, for people to do their research, read the bill. Had a great conversation with Becky Gray this morning, with the Locke Foundation. So I think, that's where the true information is.
By the way, House Democrats today on the federal level, the level that you're seeking, they came out and unveiled their latest Medicare for All bill. It really surprises me. They just about lost everything under Obamacare. Politically, it wasn't good for them, and it appears they're doubling down once again.
Well, that's truly absurd. It's misinformation that's going out everywhere. And if you'll give me 2 minutes, while we're clearing the air, there have been some misrepresentations and things that are going on by people who are pushing for other folks in the race. We talked about, when I met with you the other day, we talked about my practice. I'm in private practice. I haven't sold my practice to Biden. Some people are saying that. I'm in small business. That's what I do. Chief of staff of the medical center, which is a big elected position, and that's a big deal. This guy also has said that I support transgender bathrooms. That is utter nonsense. I voted for HB2. I supported it. Men are men, women are women. They need to use the correct bathrooms. We need to protect our children. But HB2 got pushed through quickly, and unfortunately, as with every reaction, there's sometimes the equal and opposite reaction. I don't know that the HB2 was thought through as much as it should be, because when it came out, this was a reaction to a vastly liberal policy put forth by the Charlotte City Council. They wanted everybody to use any bathroom. So if we didn't do something, the Charlotte policy would go across the entire state. Then we put in HB2. Well, they sued us. And so what happens if this had gone to our liberal Fourth Circuit Court, which is so far left liberal, they would have overturned HB2. And so every bathroom in the state, not just in Charlotte, but in Greenville, Wilmington, you name it, would be used for everybody. So we had to do something. We had to remove HB2 on our own terms, not be dealt a term by the liberal Fourth Circuit. And, this is where people scream about the incomplete facts. This is not what's true. So,
very good. Well, congratulations, Greg, and I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to be talking to you.
Well, I hope not. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying the ride. It's going around the district, meeting hundreds and wonderful people. I'm just excited about it.
Well, make sure you check the tread on your tires, because at the end of this, they're going to be pretty thin, I'm afraid.
I plan on getting a couple sets. So.
All right. Greg Murphy, thanks for calling in.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much, Tom. Bye-bye.